This is PRIME7 Local News.
Tonight, a Fair Work decision delivers our lowest paid workers a wage rise. Regional residents bracing for potential power outages. And a drained lake reveals its secrets in a wallet one man thought he'd lost forever.
Now, PRIME7 Local News.
Good evening. Workers earning the minimum wage will see their pay packets expand from the beginning of next month. The Fair Work Commission has announced increases for those on the country's lowest incomes to combat the skyrocketing cost of living.
A 5.2% increase for those on the minimum wage. It's a move that's been welcomed by locals.
Yes, that's going to help a lot with bills and everything's gone up in price.
There are people that are doing maybe a couple of jobs or even 3 jobs to get by. So if the pay rate goes up, they might be able to just do one job.
From July, those working in minimum wage jobs like aged and disability care, fast food and supermarkets can expect a little more in their pay packet each week.
Very large organisations, perhaps your larger cleaning companies, so that will have a flow on to the industries that they clean for, etc.
The 5.2% increase will equate to around $40 per week or just over $2,000 a year, bringing their annual earnings to $42,000. Employees earning a range of award rates can expect a smaller increase of 4.6% from October. It's good news as the cost of living increases, but the effect on local businesses isn't expected to be dramatic.
It's not going to have a big impact on many of our small businesses because they've had this pressure for some time just to find people to fill rosters. At the moment, if you want to get workers and you only pay the minimum, you're probably not going to get workers.
Unions have welcomed the move cautiously, with inflation expected to peak around Christmas at about 7%.
We don't know what is going to happen into the future in terms of inflation, whether or not it's a spike that will quickly come off or whether or not it's going to be something that continues longer than a year.
Sarah Krieg, PRIME7 News.
Power supplies are looking more assured across the region tonight, with the National Energy Regulator putting drastic measures in place. Sarah Krieg joins us now. And Sarah, what's the latest?
Maddie, the Australian energy market operator suspended its spot market this afternoon in a bid to keep the lights on for much of the country. This pause will mean that energy suppliers won't be able to unnecessarily take their supply out of the grid, which is what they've been doing in recent days after the national regulator capped how much they'd pay for power. This drastic measure makes it unlikely that the power will go out tonight, but it's only a quick fix, not a long-term solution. With power supply expected to be unstable this winter, it's recommended that locals keep their warm blankets, torches and other power cut essentials close by. Maddie.
Good advice. Thanks, Sarah. Sarah Krieg there. More border children are succumbing to head colds and coughs as the cold weather sets in. Some pharmacies in the region can't keep up with the demand for children's medication. Pharmacists are encouraging parents to book their children over the age of 5 in for both flu and COVID vaccinations.
Absolutely, a lot of kids are getting sick at the moment. I think a lot of it is because we've been cooped up for so long.
New South Wales and Victorian governments are funding free flu shots at GPs and pharmacies until the end of June. A Yarrawonga man who lost his wallet 5 months ago has got it back thanks to an eagle-eyed Good Samaritan. The wallet, with cash still inside, is one of many treasures now being revealed thanks to the draining of Lake Mulwala.
Raymond Bunkle got the shock of his life on Monday morning when an unexpected knock at the door revealed his long-lost wallet had been found. The 32-year-old with Down syndrome lost his wallet when it slipped out of his pocket at Lake Mulwala in January.
Yes, he had a wallet back, yes. And Raymond was over the moon when the man, he just grabbed it and bolted. And the poor man, I don't know what the poor man must have thought, but anyway. But yeah, no, I was just really overwhelmed for him, so it was really good.
With Raymond's Christmas money and cards still inside, it was found by a school teacher's 12-year-old son and his friend on the Queen's birthday.
Just the kind people, you know, that would just hand it over. It was really just upset me, actually, because I just... Well, I know, you just don't see that every day. But there are nice, kind people out in the world.
From chairs, tables, phones and shopping trolleys to Raymond's wallet and this speedboat behind me, the empty lake has uncovered a treasure trove of lost items. The wallet is not the only sunken treasure found in the dry lake bed. West Wyalong's Mark Sutton found some fishing gear and a phone that were lost when he fell into the lake while fishing from his kayak 11 months ago. Mr. Bunkle, meanwhile, is preparing to say thanks to the young men that found his wallet.
And while who would have thought that a wallet would have been sitting there waiting to be picked up. So, yeah, it's just incredible.
Jessica Whitty, PRIME7 News.
The long weekend proved busy on our roads, but even busier for police. On Saturday, a car was detected northbound on the Hume Freeway at Glenrowan, travelling at 176 kilometres per hour. The 23-year-old female driver was fined almost $1,800. A second vehicle was impounded at the same spot on Sunday, heading for Melbourne, driving at 152 kilometres per hour. The 23-year-old male was also fined more than $1,600. It's a taboo topic, but one that experts say regional communities need to face: sexual abuse of elderly people in aged care facilities. On World Elder Abuse Day, a shocking statistic has come to light. 50 elderly people around Australia are abused every week, and those are just the cases that are reported.
The most vulnerable in our community falling victim to elder abuse.
We have to have these conversations because I think I've gone from one call a week to getting 4 or 5.
The financial, emotional, physical and even sexual abuse of older people is more prevalent than some may realise, exacerbated by the pandemic and staff shortages. Today especially a chance to highlight how big of an issue it is.
And I just want everyone on board and everyone talking about this. We can no longer hide and say it's not happening. It is happening, it's real.
Over the past 5 years, there's been a 50% jump in family violence calls to Victoria Police involving those aged over 65. There's an average of 50 sexual abuse cases in aged care across the country per week, and in more than half of those cases, staff reported no physical or psychological impact.
Up to 1 in 6 older Australians will experience some form of abuse in a year. That's a pretty frightening statistic, I think.
Advocates hope this campaign will initiate real significant change at government levels and educate the community, shedding light on issues that exist in the shadows.
We've got a repeat issue here and we need education, we need awareness and we need legislation in place to protect people.
I've talked a lot at the individual level, but it's also government level action, and it's inexcusable that our Attorneys General have agreed, but nothing has actually happened.
Claire Sienta, PRIME7 News.
A local charity will soon start accepting electrical goods as part of a new initiative to reduce waste ending up in landfill. Vinnie's has trained around 200 volunteers across Victoria to test and tag donated items for resale in its store, with all profits being put directly back into support services for the most vulnerable in our community.
This is about taking products and giving them a second and even a third life in reuse. So we get an electrical item and we're able to test and tag it with our wonderful 200 plus volunteers.
The program will divert an estimated 100 tonnes of electrical items from landfill every year. Applications for exhibitors are officially opened as the Henty Field Days fast approaches. It was hoped this year's event could benefit from the recently erected 5G mobile phone tower, bringing a new level of connectivity to the site, but it won't be in operation until next year. But there is a new attraction, an after-hours ticketed event that will see star performances from Brooke McClymont and Adam Eckelsley take to the stage.
We'd love to see all those companies that we've had previously return, obviously. There was a lot of emerging businesses that came up during COVID, so there's plenty of new things to see as well.
All the fan favourites like dog trials, produce markets, helicopter joyrides and much, much more will still be on offer. Applications for exhibitors close on July 31. Well, it's time now for a quick check of the weather with Kirsty Fitzpatrick. And Kirsty, it was nice to see a bit of sunshine poking through today.
Yes, that's right, Maddie. The blue skies did peek through at times. Good evening, everyone. Not too bad across the region today. Still overcast for some of us. Temperatures reached the low teens for much of the region, though. Wangaratta today, 13 degrees. 13 also in Corowa, and just north of the border, Corryong also reached a top of 13. Winds were out of the north and the northeast, reaching speeds around 20 kilometres an hour, so it did become a little gusty this afternoon. And into the late afternoon and into this evening, we've started to see that rain band move through. Some of us picking up some drizzle already, but there is more wet weather forecast tonight and tomorrow. I'll have the rest of our week's details coming up very soon, Maddie.
Thanks, Kirsty. See you in a few minutes. Still to come in PRIME7 local news, new help for those with a gambling problem and a time capsule of priceless memories preserved forever.
You can catch up with PRIME7 local news anytime, anywhere on 7plus and stay in touch 24/7 on 7news.com.au.
The independent federal member for Indi will play a crucial role in the creation of an anti-corruption commission. Helen Haines says she's preparing to take on the responsibility of getting the body set up. Dr Haines has already been in contact with the new Attorney General to discuss where her existing campaign for an integrity commission would fit into the process.
We talked about the possibility of a joint select committee, of which I would be co-chair, to help steer this legislation into the Parliament. I think that would be a great outcome.
A federal integrity commission has been high on Helen Haines' policy agenda since she was first elected in 2019. Gambling addictions are costing Australians billions of dollars. A program to educate and support people is being launched across regional New South Wales with a focus on those most at risk.
Bright, colourful lights and flashing dollar signs. It seems like fun until it becomes an addiction.
I had no friends. I spent all my time playing poker machines.
Helen says she knew it was more than just having a little fun when she considered remortgaging her home.
The turning point was lying to my church group about where I was one night, and it's really left me with a guilt trip.
Helen isn't alone. Australians lost $25 billion on legal forms of gambling in just 1 year, according to government figures.
In the last few months, our referral numbers have increased by 4 times.
Centrecare is one of 10 providers across New South Wales who are stepping up to participate in the Gamble Aware website and program delivery.
Are you gambling with your career?
People can self-refer, they can be referred by any other services, GPs, even, a family or friend can refer someone to us.
The state government has commenced a 3-month targeted ad campaign to promote education, support and treatment.
Are you gambling with your relationship?
What's really important is to have that information in front of people, that they can have that trigger to go, actually, is that me that I can see in that ad? Maybe I need to change my behaviour.
The face and location of gambling addiction has changed. Support services say young men who gamble online and using mobile apps are particularly at risk.
In particular, around sports betting.
Get control of your life again. It's so easy, it's a phone call away.
Tony Abragetti, PRIME7 News.
From old documents, photographs and postcards to teddy bears, century-old footy boots and an 85-year-old rattle. A number of items are being preserved through photography in the event of a future disaster. It's all part of a bushfire recovery project in the Tawong Shire to future-proof collections.
Is when fires come, precious things are lost. So this is a service to digitise both community and collections for the future, and we put them onto a memory stick, and then it's a free service to the community.
The pop-up studio is travelling to Corryong, Tallangatta and Walwa over the next fortnight. Still to come in PRIME7 local news, the Melbourne Cup is heading to Howlong Golf Club as part of a regional tour, and a soccer star chalks up 200 games.
Tomorrow on Sunrise, beating the meat price hikes.
Our exclusive consumer investigation reveals how to find the best quality and price.
That's tomorrow from 5:30am on PRIME7.
Welcome back. A local soccer club's favourite son will notch up a special milestone on Saturday night. United's Sam Mason was told last night he's on 199 games, and it seems he's reached the milestone just in time.
He's respected right across the league, but none more so than internally at the Greens. The man known as Meso is set to bring up 200 games for Albury United.
When I first got to the club, it was just about just being able to break into the seniors and play with a great team and a great culture. But yeah, to be able to have that many years in the first grade sides, yeah, feels pretty good. So, yeah, glad to get there.
Sam Mason will achieve the honour in one of the league's biggest matches, the FA Cup final this Saturday. Mason has achieved it all since crossing from Melrose almost 2 decades ago.
If I want to get the best out of my own career, I need to be at the best club and I need to break into that team. And I don't think they were defeated. I think they went through the whole season, maybe 2 seasons undefeated, I think it was, and I thought to myself, just in order to crack into that team, it'll just be a milestone in itself.
He puts his playing longevity down to fitness and old-fashioned hard work. The soccer superstar says he's had to work harder in pre-season to match the strong international stars of the competition during it.
The likes of Tom Youngs, Dan Summers and Adam Birchall, yeah, those guys were pretty quality, and I just knew, yeah, the harder I worked, the easier it'd be for me.
A previous captain of United, Mason would love nothing more than to lift the first silverware of the season and claim some redemption.
We didn't have the luck that we should have had against Boomers for the last final for the FA, but we're trying to make amends for it now, and it's all just about just getting that flag at the end.
It's what Mason is hoping will be the first of a three-peat, including the league and premiership titles, in what could be his swan song.
Whether this year is my last year and all that, I'm just not 100% sure whether it will be. But yeah, I'm just glad I've gotten to the point where I have. But yeah, I don't think it will sink in until I do finally retire.
United meet Wangaratta at Wodonga's Kelly Park, 7 p.m. Saturday night. Stephen Murphy, Prime 7 News.
The Melbourne Cup is heading to Howlong Golf Club as part of a regional tour. The club has been selected to host one of the biggest prizes in sport, the 2022 Melbourne Cup Tour. The Howlong Golf Resort is one of 24 regional places to host the Cup.
We're a little bit lucky that it actually falls on Caulfield Cup Day. So in the racing world, that's a bit of a coup, not just for the town, but probably the whole district, given the magnitude, and it's a piece of racing history. So to come to Howlong's a coup.
The club will also receive a barrier number for the Melbourne Cup. If the club's horse wins, the club gets a $50,000 cheque to give away to charity.
You know, we could have jumping castles here, make it really, really fun, sweeps, best dressed, and looking that night to culminate a sports night centric around racing. So really looking forward to it.
The Cup will be in Howlong on October 15. While the Albury Wodonga Bandits men will fly solo at home this weekend, just the men will play Saturday night in a stadium that's fast becoming a fortress for visiting Sydney teams.
Heading into round 10 of an 18-round season, the Bandits men are 5th, but their whole postseason could be established in the next 3 weeks, with games against the bottom 2 before a road trip against a top 4 contender.
It's probably the best opportunity we have to cement ourselves in the top 4 heading into the back end of the season. We had a couple of nightmare, double-header road trips, just sitting in the bus for that length of time. Really trying to turn the local stadium into a bit of a fortress for us is our main goal at the moment.
That opportunity only going to be helped by the imminent arrival of a new gun coming in at a much-needed 6'9".
We're the highest point-scoring team in the league almost, but we've got the lowest rebound count, and I know that's not always it doesn't always correlate, but we definitely need to have more of a post presence. So yeah, the guy that's coming in, he's definitely going to add to that.
Meanwhile, the women will have a second week off, with Bankstown not fielding a women's program. Beyond that, things keep getting better for the second-placed Bandits.
We've got Unique to come in, which is our second import. She'll be here next week, which is exciting for the group. She's got WNBA experience and European experience. Cassidy Gould, who we signed, who's coming back from college, she's just carrying a little bit of an injury, so we're just not sure we're going to end up making the trek up to Albury.
The women are now the highest scoring team in the East, averaging 89 points a game and conceding 69.
People around Lauren are really now starting to step up and show their worth to the team. So that's probably the most pleasing and exciting part for me, just seeing everyone improve.
The men's tip-off against Bankstown is at 6 p.m. Saturday night at the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre. Stephen Murphy, Prime 7 News.
Still to come in Prime 7 local news, Kirsty Fitzpatrick will be back with your local weather details.
Welcome back, everyone. A low pressure system to the south is bringing with it a series of troughs. They will spread across Victoria, generating showers, but a high pressure system will then build into the weekend, leading to clearer skies and sunshine before the next wet weather system arrives early next week. Around 15 to 30 millimetres could fall across the northeast and south to the Alpine resorts over the coming 8 days, including with that new system. On to tomorrow, though. Another day of fairly overcast skies is forecast. Showers continuing overnight and then tracking into tomorrow evening. We could see up to 8 millimetres of rain on the border, increasing to around 10 millimetres as we track further south. Northwesterly winds starting to tend northeasterly. Temperatures around the low teens for Mansfield with 13 and the same in Omeo. Another mostly cloudy day on the way to end the working week on Friday. Temperatures slightly warmer. Albury-Wodonga up to 15, Cobram even 16 degrees. Morning fog, but then showers clearing in the north. In the south, the chance of a drizzle no more than around 1 millimetre is forecast though, and we could see snow above 1,600 metres. At Mount Buller, 6 degrees our top, and Shepparton 10 degrees warmer with 16. On to Saturday though, that high pressure system will become dominant as we can see plenty of sunshine across the region. Overnights around the 4 to 5 degree mark with mild daytime temperatures. In Wangaratta we are expecting 15 degrees and Beechworth a top of 13. Another day of fairly light winds though, that will fortunately keep temperatures feeling a little more bearable. If we look to the next 7 days now, clear skies continuing for the weekend and into early next week. Temperatures even increasing to 16 on Monday. We can see that burst of showers on the way, but nice to see fairly clear conditions on the weekend. That is after a bit of a drizzly 24 hours ahead, Maddie.
We'll be lapping up that sunshine.
We will, yes.
Thanks, Kirsty. See you later. And that's your local news for tonight. Thanks for your company. You can join the debate on our Facebook page and you can catch up on our website or, of course, at 7plus. 7 News from Melbourne is coming up next. Have a lovely night. We'll see you again tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. See you then.